today, which I'm super excited about. Out of all the employers that Georgian works with, and we're the largest co-op college in Canada, Blue Mountain is our absolute favorite for many, many reasons you're going to find out today. Not only are they an amazing partner for the college, and historically every hospitality student would go through Blue Camp, right, Lauren, and be living and working at Blue Mountain for 3 or 4 days in their final semester. uh, we hope to get that back up and running as soon as possible. They're only 40 minutes from the Georgian College campus, and in my opinion, the most beautiful resort in Ontario. So I'm so excited you're here, Lauren. Thank you. And I know the students are stoked to hear all about all the cool things they can find out about Blue.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much, Lindsay and Eric, for having us. It's great to be able to chat about Blue and why we're awesome and and why you should choose us for your co-op term or for summer or seasonal employment. We've got a lot of great stuff going on here on the resort any time of the year, really. So it doesn't really matter exactly when you're thinking about joining. We've got a lot of different opportunities, at any time. So we'll kind of touch a little bit more on the summer today, just with us already sort of halfway through our winter season. But not to say if you don't have questions thinking about winter or the fall, definitely feel free to ask about those as well. But without further ado, I will start to share my screen, and Eric and Lindsay, let me know if I'm doing anything wrong here. All right, get this presentation up and running. All right, we can see everything okay on your end?
Yes, ma'am. It looks good.
Perfect. All right. So just to start us off with this beautiful photo of our campus, it's a huge resort. We've got our beautiful village. Our mountain stretches across a lot of the escarpment there. So beautiful spot to get started. So I'll start by introducing myself. So my apologies, my colleague John wanted to be here today, but was unable to join with a last minute conflict. But little bit about myself. Old photo, previously blonde, but that's me there. I work in the HR department here at Blue as one of our advisors within the team. So a large part of my focus, on a year-round basis is recruiting, prospective employees and great students like yourselves for some of our awesome co-op opportunities. So my specific focus within the team as far as recruitment goes is primarily those front-facing customer service positions, things within the front desk or guest services teams, retail. My colleague John takes a lot of the food and beverage positions, takes care of some housekeeping recruits. So I can hopefully touch on any of those sort of opportunities with you today if you have any specific questions. But without further ado, we'll get started with just a little bit of an overview, I guess, about Blue Mountain. So for those who don't know, we're located pretty close to the Georgian campus, four-season destination. A lot of our focus is definitely winter time, but we are really growing our activities and stuff to do here in the summertime as well. So our owners are Altera Mountain Company. So they're a ski resort located out of the States. They own a few different resorts, mostly in the United States, but some within Canada here. We're lucky to be one of those. So they're our parent company that gives us some really great inspirational ideas and kind of keeps us going. We've got a lot of different hotel properties here on resort and some condos in the surrounding area. Definitely a big focus on our ski and snowboard operations. Has anybody been to the resort and been on the mountain coaster before? I'd be curious to see if anybody's been here in the chat or any of the activities that you've done, really. We've got lots of stuff in the summertime as well. Ropes courses, you can kind of glide through the trees and the zip lining. That's always fun. And our food and beverage operation is really big here as well. So we're lucky enough to partner with some really great independent owners in the restaurants within the village. But Blue Mountain ourselves, we take care of the Pottery restaurant. So it's a little bit more of a casual fine dining experience, as well as Jozo's, which was the original bar here on Resort. So a little bit of something for everybody, which I think is nice. This season, we actually opened up a a dining facility at the top of one of the runs. So that's been really great with all of these outdoor dining operations we've been doing. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's really something for everybody in both, you know, the guest perspective as well as the employee perspective. The majority of our guests, we definitely draw a lot from the GTA, with us being so close to Toronto, and really, I think, in my opinion, being the best mountain in the area. We have a lot of pull from there. It's easy to get to. We have a lot of bus trips from people coming from the States. There's a lot of big weekends that happen throughout the year, and the winter season, as well as the summer season, where we see a lot of pull kind of come from everywhere. So a little bit of everybody. We see a lot of diversity here on Resort as far as our guests and our employees are concerned, which we love to see. So kind of to get into some of the fun stuff, you'll see some of these photos here. You know, our campus is just as beautiful again in the summer as it is the winter. We've got the Ridge Runner mountain coaster over on the left there, you know, some cross-country biking, some segways. I'm going to turn it over for a video, and hopefully there's some sound to that. I know I was having troubles with that yesterday, so Lindsay, Eric, flag me if that doesn't work, but would love to just give you a little bit more information or insight into what the summer and the adventure sort of looks like here. Awesome. So pretty exciting stuff, right? I'd love to see in the chat what sort of stood out to everybody. If there was anything in particular that maybe you've enjoyed yourself or that you didn't realize that we had here on Resort. We've really got something for everybody. We recognize that not everybody is going to have the same interests. in mind, and we really like to take that into consideration and make sure that if you come here, you're going to have fun regardless of what you're doing. So obviously, with all of the operations that we have, it takes a lot of people to be able to run those activities. So this is just sort of a little breakdown, high level of where we have our staff and really what large of an impact they have. So definitely, lodging is one of our largest departments here on Resort, both front and back of house within the front desk or the housekeeping team. We have, we have upwards of 2,000 employees, which is crazy during our peak times, and really wouldn't be able to do what we do on a daily basis without those people to help us out and to really make those guests' experience memorable. So what I'm going to try to do here next is switch over to our YouTube. I wasn't able to embed the video here in the PowerPoint, so I'm just going to stop sharing my screen here for 1 second and swap over to YouTube, just to show you another fun little video of why you should work at Blue. So mind you, some of the things that were talked about in this video are specific to the winter, but you'll still get the general idea of how great we are.
That's awesome. Just while you're doing that, I went with my little guy, not last summer, but the summer before, for a week to Blue, just the two of us. And I went on the mountain coaster with him in 2 days, 15 times. It was all he wanted to do. My body was a little sore after, but it was such an adventure, and everybody there was just awesome.
Oh, good. Yeah, it is so fun. But yeah, definitely, you don't realize the impact it has on your body. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to swap over here. And again, let me know if you're not able to hear or see this on your end. But just a little bit of fun stuff about why you should work at Blue.
You two, this way. Three, behind me. Oh, ski patrol. Yep, go through ski patrol. Hold up, bud, hold up. Everyone's trying to have fun. And that's how you sort the line. Mic drop. As we continue on our mission to find what job is right for you at Blue Mountain, we have landed in the Grand Central Lodge. So we are here with Chef Craig, and we are going to learn essentially the art of the egg ride. Yep. Step one, turn on the stove.
So first thing I do,
yep,
you need a little fat, a little bit of butter, 2 strips of bacon.
Woo!
Each egg and ride is 1 egg.
One egg,
One fried egg, yeah. So it's scrambled up into the pan. Cheese would go on now.
Always.
Do you want a cheese? Do you like cheese?
Yep. 100%.
Yep. That's set for beautifully toasted.
That's toasted to
English
perfection.
muffin. And the cheese is pulled in there, obviously.
Yep.
And without style, that's an egg and ride right there.
Woo!
Enjoy.
Come on, go. Egg and ride for the win. So, if you like processes, if you like checklists, and if you're an inside person, then our housekeeping department would be a great fit for you. So I'm here with Donna today, and she's going to take me through some of the things that you would do on your day-to-day job of being in the housekeeping department. So Donna, what are we going to do first?
I thought we'd start with some towel art.
Fantastic. What happens if it's like a sad little swan?
So it should look something like that. Now,
Same.
but you want to know something?
Same. All right. So
Okay.
what is next?
So when I come into a room, first thing I do is look around. I like to gather up the garbage. Next thing I do the same with the laundry. Gather up all the dirty, strip all the beds and everything. Make sure everything is in the kitchen. Then I'll go into the bedrooms, get all the bedrooms made and the beds and everything else. Do the bathroom last, and then kitchen vacuum and everything, and then I should be out the door. This room would probably take about an hour and a half to do. Top to bottom.
First solo shift. Donna has so much faith in me. I'm gonna be so strong by the end of this. like me and coffee is life, then Starbucks is the job for you at Blue Mountain. So I'm here with Lindsay, and she's gonna show us how to make one of the outstanding holiday beverages.
First step is you want to put the milk in the steaming pitcher. Second step, you're going to put it in the steam wine. You're going to pump this caramel brulee syrup into the cup.
Do you ever just like, when no one's around, like put your mouth under and pump it in?
No, we don't. But
Okay.
sometimes I think about it. And then 2 shots of espresso. And then we like to what we call grooming the milk. You want to give it a little tap tap. You want to pour it in. And because this drink comes with whipped cream, you want to leave a little extra space so you can get that yummy whipped cream in there. Oh no, this whipped cream is so bad. And yeah, this needs to be redone. It was a tear. I don't make drinks like this. Okay, here we go.
Oh my god. If you like to be outside and interacting with people, then a lift operator is probably the position for you. So I'm here with Matthew, and he's going to show us the 3 main roles you can have as being part of the lift team. So Matthew, where are we right now?
We're here at the bottom of the Silver Bullet lift. This is the main 6-pack lift, taking you all the way up to the top of the mountain. 3 main positions down here. We have an inside operator, a podium operator here manning these buttons, and then just a sorter greeter out in the lineup area.
Fantastic. So if you're standing here, you're like high-fiving the guests, telling them to have a great time on the hill, that's it?
So your main duty here is the safety of the guests from the load gates up to the load area, but you are also the main person talking to each of the guests.
And I see that there's a phone there, so I'm guessing that's how you call for pizza at lunchtime? Hi, can I get a large pepperoni?
No, it's not for pizza. It's just the main communication between the bottom station here and the top. We do have an operator up there as well.
If you've ever been to Jozo's, then you have met the lovely Carolyn. So what is the first step of the perfect pour?
Bring it up to your tap, pull the tap open wide,
Yep.
and don't touch the metal to the side of your glass. So put it as close to the glass as you can. And let it pour all the way up, slowly tipping your glass back. And back this way.
So the next thing I want to ask you about is the infamous Jozo's shot speed. So what is the proper way to do a shot speed? We have our vodka, we have our ski.
We're all ready to go.
Yep.
And we lift it up.
Oh, that is strong. Well, thank you so much for showing me the ins and outs of the original Apres. All right, so if you want to be a beverage facilitator, then sign up at bluemountain.ca and you get to work with fun people like Carolyn. That's it for our mountain mission. As you can see today, we have lots of different jobs for you. To apply, visit bluemountain.ca/jobs, and I'll look for you on the slopes.
Awesome. I'm gonna stop that video there. All right. I would love to hear what everybody thinks about some of those opportunities. There's definitely a little bit of something for everybody on resort in all of the different departments. All of them, have some great teams already in place, but are definitely looking, obviously, to expand some of those teams. So what I will do again is go back to sharing my screen. We'll go back to the presentation. All right. So moving on next, we just got some great photos of some of our staff there. So in the food and beverage operations, we have a lot of different food and beverage facilities on resort, both winter and summer in our base lodges or in the Pottery or Jozo's, as you would have seen in the video. Our housekeeping team, our adventure guides there with the ropes courses, and, of course, guest services to help facilitate the ticket sales. So a lot of our prospective employees and students find some common co-op opportunities really within these sort of divisions, not to say that it is strictly limited to those ones. Our front desk representatives, you're going to be helping out within the hotels, room attendants, again, hotel, very important to keep the guests going, line cooks, adventure guides, as we would have seen. We have a lot of lifeguards here on resort as well. We've got our plunge swimming facility, so that is super fun, both an indoor outdoor swimming sort of area, in addition to the hotel pools that we have. Guest service representatives, again, are going to be your point of contact for recreation sales. And our contact center representatives are the ones behind the scenes who are doing a ton of the legwork in terms of booking any packages for the guests over the phone before they get here. We also have a really large employee housing program. So in order to help with all of our staffing needs, that 2,000 number that we have there in the peak season, we understand that not everybody's going to be local to the area. So, people like yourselves who are, just past that comfortable driver commute, might want to join the housing program. So it's about a 10 to 15 minute walk from the resort. We lease different ski chalets really from local property owners and house everybody in those accommodations. So you would have a roommate in that chalet and then share your common spaces. So things like kitchens and washrooms, laundry, things like that, with really anywhere between 8 to 12 other individuals, depending on the size of your unit. And so really based on the unit that you're in, we have some standard or premium accommodations. The rent is going to fluctuate a little bit based on that, but it is a really great affordable price in comparison to the local market outside of this program. So really anywhere between like $125 to $200 a week. Everything is deducted right through your paycheck, so there's no need to worry about anything along those lines. And then we just, require a deposit upon arrival. So if you're not coming from locally, we always recommend to have a little bit of extra funds just to get you going through that first little bit. And I don't know if anybody's had the opportunity to do a little bit of research into Blue Mountain, but this is our mission statement that we really live and breathe by. There's magic in our mountain. A visit here is transformative. Physically, emotionally, or spiritually, Blue Mountain will move you. I think everybody has their own journey of how our mountain will move you, and it's really great to see all of those different experiences that people have. Maybe this was the first time they were able to go skiing with their family, or they started in a co-op career or a co-op and it turned into a career, and met some great people along the way. So everybody's got their story, and it's something that we feel really passionate about in hearing those sort of stories. I'm just gonna, this slide loads a little bit slow. But I just wanted to show just some of our fun photos from some of the different staff events that we have going on throughout the year. So, obviously we've had to put a pin in some of these or redirect in the last season or two, but we really, really strive for that culture piece where we're able to enjoy, where we work, both within our departments and with other people as well. So we do both, department specific events, and then we do resort-wide events as well. So you'll see some of these. The beach party is a big one. At the end of every summer, we go to the Blue Mountain Private Beach and have some great food and have some great conversation and listen to good music. Just recently, we had an employee chili day where everybody was able to have some of our great home-cooked chili from the food and beverage team. So tons of stuff to get you involved across the resort. And then into some of the fun stuff. So working at Blue, in addition to us just being awesome, we have some really great, some discounts as well. So food and beverage discounts, as you saw, we do have a Starbucks on Resort. As employees, we get 40% off, which is awesome. We have some really great branded retail locations as well. So things like Burton or Columbia, we get a 30% discount on the soft goods and then a 15% discount on hard goods. So things like skis or snowboards, if you want to purchase some equipment, if you like it here. You know, different hotel discounts. Attraction discounts. So things like, you know, in the winter, it's going to be your lift tickets. In the summertime, it'll be something fun like that bag jump, like you see the employee doing there. And we've got a really great gondola in the summertime and some awesome hiking trails that you get to experience for free. So what I'm going to do again is stop sharing my screen so I can get back to YouTube. Just so we can talk a little bit more about some of our awesome perks. So again, some of these are going to be specific to the winter, but if you have any specific questions about summer perks, let me know as well. All right, and again, Lindsay, Eric, let me know if there's any issues with the video.
Welcome to Mission, work at Blue Mountain. Okay.
Do you want to do it kind of funny, like you want to be behind you and come out?
Sure. Oh, hi there. Welcome to another edition of Mountain Mission. Today we are talking about all the fun things that you can do to work at Blue. Yes, we're talking about fun employment. So as an employee of Blue Mountain, first of all, we pay higher than minimum wage. Students, starting salary is $16 an hour, and for adults, it's $16.50. Number two, you get an Alterra pass for you and your dependents or family. So what does that mean? It means that you get free skiing and snowboarding at the 15 different resorts that Alterra owns, including Stratton, Mount Tremblant, Mammoth, Deer Valley, Steamboat, Solitude, Winter Park, the list goes on. With that pass, you also get 30% off at all of our retail-owned establishments, including Burton, Red Devil, Hillside Outfitters, Columbia Sportswear, The North Face, and Blue Mountain Supply Co. You also get 40% off, practically free, at food and beverage. So that includes Starbucks. Almost free coffee. Like, why wouldn't you sign up? And then, because I keep saying free, you do get free skating, fat biking, snowshoeing, and ski and snowboard rentals. So while you're here, you're trying a new winter sport. Another bonus is our Tuition Assistance Program, otherwise known as TAP. So if you are in high school, every season you stay successfully employed with Blue Mountain, you can earn up to $500 for post-secondary education. So if you start 14 in grade 9, by the time you graduate, you could graduate with us cutting you a check for $4,000 to go towards your post-secondary education. So it pays to work at Blue. Now that you've heard about all of the perks working for Blue, stay tuned as I highlight some of the awesome options for you.
All right. So some pretty great stuff, right? It's never a dull moment here on the resort, and we've got lots of fun stuff for everybody, really. So I'm just going to head back to here and just put that contact information up there for anybody who wants to follow up after today, but would love to open it up to questions.
That's awesome, Lauren. One of the questions Arisha had was, how can we apply for specific positions that we want? So would students just go to that bluemountain.ca/jobs?
Yep, so that's a great place. We post all of our opportunities on our website. if you're looking for something in the summertime, we don't actually start our recruitment for that until around March break. So you might not see any opportunities posted there quite yet. But to get ahead of the game, we have posted our summer roles that we know we're going to be hiring for within the Georgian job portal. So you can see it there as well.
I was just going to say that Blue posted quite a few jobs. They're all on Georgian Connects. So you guys, if you are an international student and you don't have access to Georgian Connects, it means we are missing your co-op work permit. So send that to us and we'll make sure you've got that opened up, but everybody else should be able to see those jobs. Yes, so co-op is going to be from, if you have co-op this summer, it is from the end of April. So usually by the time your last exam ends, it's about that last week of April. And you're free to start from that point up and until, the first few weeks of May. And then if you're returning to school, you'll be back in September. And if you're graduating on this co-op, you can actually stay on with your co-op employer. We'll put your credit in and you'll be done. But then that can kind of, if it's going well, turn into your career job as well. Good question. So I'm just looking, sorry. Somebody was asking about the COVID protocols, vaccination for staff, that kind of thing.
Good question. So yeah, in order to really be as safe as possible for our guests, we do have a vaccination policy in place. So our staff is required to be fully vaccinated. So that's your 2 shots at this point. And then the guests, of course, are expected to follow any public health guidelines as well. So eating in any of our indoor facilities, using the indoor recreation, things like that, we would request it. And then just across the resort, we've been really careful right from the start of this, which, I'm really proud of. We've got different, plexiglass in place. We've got sanitizer everywhere you look. And, different capacities, of course, for the indoor, retail facilities, different sanctions, just to show what the distancing looks like. So things like that to make sure that that everybody is as safe as possible.
Okay. So Jillian's asking, is there daily testing if you're not vaccinated?
Good question. So at this point, any new employees that we hire are required to be fully vaccinated. So we don't have the opportunity to perform that testing. So for some people who were on resort and employed prior to this policy being in effect, we were allowing some testing twice a week. Leading up to them becoming fully vaccinated. But anybody that we bring on board right now, there is no option, unless it's a medical exemption, to not have that proof of full vaccination. So if that were the case, you could touch base with human resources and we would follow a testing procedures.
Arisha's asking about interviews. So they would apply for a job and they get an interview. Would those interviews be virtual, Lauren?
Yep. So right now, yeah, we, it's great. Virtual, I think, is probably the way of the future for interviewing right now. It lets us reach so many more people. So we use the Microsoft Teams platform, like we're on today. So I think it's very user friendly. It's intuitive. So the interviews would be virtual, but then of course your position would be on site.
Good question. Amanda was asking, and I answered it in the chat, but just to maybe hear from you a little bit, are co-op positions posted at Georgian Connects possible to turn into permanent roles?
Absolutely, yeah. So for some of our seasonal positions, there's not necessarily the same demand for it season to season, but things, such as front desk or housekeeping or food and beverage that do operate on a year-round basis, absolutely, there is opportunity to stay on. We would love to have you stay on. It really just depends on the business volumes and the vacancies of the department at that time. We do go through a bit of a shoulder season in the fall and in the spring. Usually we would have conference guests that would kind of of bump up that and eliminate the shoulder season. But, you know, right now we're still kind of going through a bit of a peak and a valley in terms of when we're busy. So if there's a spot and if the business needs, you know, permit, then we would absolutely love to have you stay on past.
That's awesome. I've just got, Lindsay, is there a choice of doing your co-op this summer or the following? Jillian, we can absolutely talk about that. Send me an email and we'll go over all the options, Eric and I, with you for that. No problem. I'll put my email in the chat. Amanda's asking, Lauren, is there opportunity for lateral moves and growth in the roles?
Yes, absolutely. We love to be able to promote within. I think, you know, we know our staff the best. It's great if we can give those opportunities. So I'll just use, you know, maybe housekeeping as an example. You know, so you might be hired as a room attendant. Next step after that could be an ambassador, which would be involved in the training of the new attendants. After that, maybe a supervisor. And then, you know, you can kind of keep moving up from there, assistant manager, manager. So there's definitely growth within those individual roles. And then if you wanted to just grow within the resort, you know, work for one season in a position, let's say food and beverage, and then come the fall, you decide, I really want to try out guest services. You know, absolutely, we would encourage movement within your team and around the resort.
That's awesome. And Arisha asked first, and I think I answered it. I think you said a 10 to 15 minute walk. Staff accommodation, do they need a car?
Nope. You don't need a car. We are very close to the resort. So most of these staff houses are 10 to 15 minute walk. There is a shuttle service that we operate for our employees for those really cold winter days like today. If you don't want to walk, you can book that service. And then the town of Collingwood, where you'll get your groceries, is very accessible by public transit. It's about a 10-minute drive into town. So by no means do you need a car. If you have one, you know, there's parking spaces available for most of the staff housing units, but definitely not necessary.
So Maria's asking, and I think you said that staff housing isn't centrally located, right? They're kind of in and around the village. So is it available to share the staff accommodations address?
Yeah, so kind of tricky. The way it works is we sign leases with different property owners in the area. So we change our inventory of houses sort of periodically throughout the year. Most, if you wanted to look at a map, are located in the Tyrolean Village area. Not to say any specific units in particular, but it's just kind of adjacent. Most of them are closer to the Blue Mountain Inn and over in that sort of area of the Blue Mountains.
Matthias is asking how much is staff housing? And I think you went over that. It's anywhere between 127 and 200 per week, Lauren?
Yeah, it really depends. So that 127 cost, and you know, things change season to season, but that's where we're at right now. That would be for a standard accommodation with a shared room and typically a bunk bed. So depending on the unit and depending on the bedroom, really, there's different styles, if you will. So, you know, you might have 2 twin beds in a unit, and that will change the price a little bit. You might have a premium accommodation, which is maybe higher upgrades or a little bit closer to the resort, and that will increase the price as well. So the way that the intake into that program works is, you know, if we were to be able to present you with a job offer and we had availability in our housing program, our recruitment team would provide you like an intake form where you're able to select your preferences, and then the housing team will determine if those preferences are available and assign you a room based on that.
Cool. I know how much rent is in Collingwood right now because I have a cousin that's just moved to the area and it's absolutely insane. So that price is actually pretty good to be that close to the mountain. That's wild.
Yeah.
Tahian is asking, is it possible to work part-time on the weekends?
Absolutely, yeah. So for those of you who are able to access the resort independently of staff housing, there are tons of part-time opportunities. The weekends are definitely our busiest time. Staff housing is reserved for full-time seasonal employees, so you wouldn't necessarily be able to stay with us. But if you have, if you have access to us on your own, you are absolutely welcome to work with us on a part-time basis.
Okay, let's see. I think that is, does anybody else have a question that I have missed or that you would like to come off mute and ask? Okay. That was great, Lauren. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Thanks so much for having me. It's great to talk to everybody about Blue, and I hope to maybe see some faces on resort in the next little while.
Absolutely. So guys, check your Georgian Connects for co-op jobs. Take a screenshot of this slide right now so that you've got the contact information, the website to apply for grad jobs, and how to get in touch with HR at Blue with questions that you might have after you sit with it for a little bit today. You might go, oh, I should have asked, and you can always get in touch with myself, Eric, or apply at bluemountain.ca. So great. Well, thanks again, Lauren, and we're going to circulate this recording out to students that may have missed this presentation today. And I just want to thank you again for all your time and your support of our students in co-op and grads. We couldn't do this without Blue Mountain, so thanks again.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me.
Take care, everybody. Try to stay warm.